10 Declassified CIA Secrets. These frightening declassified documents demonstrated that conspiracy theories can be genuine and that the government is lying to you. Whether the government is developing mind control techniques in Project MKUltra, torturing people in Project 731, revealing global government surveillance through Edward Snowden, or accidentally dropping atomic bombs on North Carolina, some national security issues are kept secret, at least for a while. Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Today, we are going to talk about 10 declassified CIA secrets. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to smash the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started. Number 10. Avro Canada, WZ-9 Avrocar. Have you ever witnessed what you thought was a UFO in the night sky? If the Avrocar's creators had their way, there may have been flying saucers in the skies. The Avro Canada WZ-9 Avrocar was an experimental military partnership between the United States and Canada during the Cold War that involved the construction of a war aircraft resembling a flying saucer, prevalent in 1950s science fiction. However, work on the project was limited over time, and it was eventually abandoned in 1961 due, in part, to its dismal stability performance with its vertical takeoff and landing system. Number 9. Atomic bombs over North Carolina. This historic military error has received increased attention in recent years, thanks to a number of major news outlets, including CNN and Fox News, covering the subject of a near-nuclear calamity. On January 24, 1961, a bomber jet carrying 2 completed nuclear bombs crashed over North Carolina, dropping both bombs to the ground. This is now known as the Goldsboro B-52 crash. Although a parachute was deployed over one of the bombs, the other landed on the ground. Fortunately, safety pins had been removed from the first bomb, and the impact from the accident only damaged the second, sparing the entire country from possible annihilation. Number 8. The Lost Children of Franquism. Numerous violations of human rights, censorship, and bloodshed were hallmarks of Generalissimo Francisco Franco's totalitarian rule. Another terrible fact of his reign was that some children born to parents who rejected Franco's principles or were perceived as inferior to the general's racial views were stolen. Over a 50-year period, medical workers, nuns, and priests allegedly abducted an estimated 300,000 children, with some parents being informed that their newborns died shortly after birth. Accusations of human trafficking and illicit adoption were thrown at both Franco's administration and the Catholic Church, which was accused of selling these children to other parents around the country. Number 7. Dark Alliance. The term Dark Alliance refers to a collection of investigative stories written by journalist Gary Webb and published in the San Jose Mercury News in 1996. In his works, Webb brought attention to the influx of crack cocaine into the Los Angeles area, focusing specifically on its connections to Contra-guerrilla groups established in Nicaragua. Webb also claimed that the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, was providing assistance to the Contras in his work, which resulted in a significant investigation by the government and extensive publicity in the media. In spite of this, Webb's work was condemned by both the Mercury News and the Los Angeles Times, which claimed that it had errors and exaggerated certain aspects. After Webb's resignation from his job, he delved into freelance writing and wrote a book about the Dark Alliance before taking his own life in 2004. Number 6. Operation Neptune Spear. As a result of the terrorist events that occurred on September 11th, the United States government was able to identify the individuals on their most wanted list. The death of Osama bin Laden, the founder of Al-Qaeda, was the primary objective of a covert and classified operation known as Operation Neptune Spear. This name and these particular features belong to bin Laden. As part of this operation, a group consisting of airborne troops, CIA operatives, and Navy SEALs chased bin Laden to Pakistan, where he was killed and buried at sea. There is a lack of physical or DNA evidence of the killing of Neptune Spear, as well as allegations that bin Laden was unarmed at the time of his arrest. These are the primary factors that have contributed to the controversy regarding Spears. Despite the passage of time, these accounts continue to give rise to conspiracy theories. Number 5. Global Surveillance Disclosures. Patriot or Traitor. These are the competing titles attributed to Edward Snowden, a former NSA contractor who shocked the world in 2013 by releasing thousands of top-secret documents and files from the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom. These leaks received international attention and examination, with one of the most significant lessons being the individual's right to privacy from the government. Snowden sought temporary shelter in Russia in 2014 after facing theft and espionage allegations in the United States. Meanwhile, Snowden's critics, including President Barack Obama, contended that his activities put the country and its residents at risk from foes, and that disclosing this information did little to protect people. Number 4. Project MKUltra. Is it possible for a government to produce methods of mind control for its citizens? Through a series of experiments that were collectively referred to as Project MKUltra, the United States of America attempted to learn this information during the 1950s and 1960s. Allegedly, these programs utilized hallucinogenic chemicals, hypnosis, and pharmacological agents in order to exert mental control or dominance over the individuals who participated in them. While some historians are of the opinion that the MKUltra program was intended to train assassins for long-distance espionage, others are of the opinion that the entire operation was nothing more than an expensive study on LSD consumption. On the other hand, the fact that MKUltra used test participants who were unwilling or unaware of their participation ultimately led to the project's failure in 1973. Number 3. Unit 731. There are war crimes, and then there's Unit 731. During World War II, this Japanese research group committed unspeakable human rights violations, subjecting around 3,000 people to physical, medicinal, and chemical torture. Many of them were Chinese detainees. Furthermore, evidence found in Chinese and Japanese documents indicates that the U.S. exchanged impunity for data in the years following the war's end. This is especially stunning given the severity of Unit 731's procedures, which allegedly included live vivisection, germ warfare, and the use of a gas chamber. Because of the enormity of Unit 731 and the murders it committed, some have dubbed the period the Asian Holocaust. Number 2. Operation Northwoods. According to a passage from Alan Moore's novel V for Vendetta, people should not be afraid of their government. Governments should be terrified of their citizens. But perhaps it is the other way around. The United States created Operation Northwoods in the 1960s as a terrifying strategy to actively engage in domestic terrorism operations in order to gain support for a war in Cuba. Following the failed Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961, the United States was resolved to depose Fidel Castro's communist government in Cuba and was willing to go to any length to accomplish this goal. President Kennedy, however, rejected this suggestion from his Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Operation Northwoods was, luckily, never implemented. Number 1. Operation Paperclip. Under the terms of Operation Paperclip, enemies were transformed into allies, a startling secret whose intricacies are practically incomprehensible to this day. The program was carried out after World War II by the United States Office of Strategic Services with President Harry Truman's consent during the Cold War. Over 1,500 scientists and engineers who had previously worked for the Nazi regime in Germany were transported to the United States as part of Operation Paperclip to assist with weapons research and development. Despite Truman's directive that no Nazi members or sympathizers be included, the OSS deleted important evidence that would have confirmed their Nazi identity, believing that the results of Operation Paperclip would be critical to homeland defense against the Soviet Union. That's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.